for those of you who are new to Breathe for Change, my name is Ilana. I'm the founder and CEO of Breathe for Change, which is an organization on a mission to enhance the health and well-being of educators, students, and entire communities. And we run the world's only 200-hour wellness, SEL, and yoga teacher training that's specifically for educators and leaders who really care about using wellness as a vehicle for social change. I see some of our grads here. So wonderful to see you. And we also have a Breathe for Change Foundations course, which gives educators and parents and leaders access to foundational wellness and mindfulness and yoga and social emotional learning practices. But today is all about you taking care of you. We called it the Educator Self-Care Retreat because it's so important for all of us to take the time and space to care for ourselves, because every single one of you are giving so much of your hearts and all of you to other people. So give me a thumbs up if you're ready for that. Oh yeah. All right. So to get us started, let's find ourselves in a comfortable seated position. Do some shoulder rolls to get any kinks out. And then clasp your hands above head for a full body stretch. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then come on over to the right or left side. Inhale. Exhale. And then come back through center to the opposite side. Breathe in and out. And then whenever you're ready, you can bring your hands over your heart. I invite you to soften your gaze or close your eyes and connect to your breath. Observing the rise and the fall of each inhale and each exhale. And as you continue to connect deeply to your breath, just take a moment here to check in and see how you're feeling right now. After your perhaps long day, just checking in and seeing where you're at, honoring exactly what's coming up for you. At Breathe for Change, one of our favorite practices is called the 2-word check-in. So I invite you to choose 2 words that describe how you're feeling right now. And when you have those 2 words, you can open your eyes if they're closed, come on back into the space, and I'd love for all of you to chat in how you're feeling right now. So give me those 2 words that describe where you are at. Tired, overwhelmed, connected, loved, calm, anxious, calm, sleepy, tired, happy, calm, nervous. Got a little bit of everything in this space, which is absolutely perfect. And for all of you who are feeling a little anxious or sleepy or overwhelmed or tired, my intention is that by the end of our time together that you feel so much more centered and grounded and connected. So, all right, let's dig in. So welcome everybody to your Educator Self-Care Retreat. The number one outcome that I would love all of you to get out of this experience together is to enhance your own mental, physical, and social, emotional well-being, because you are number one. So I'm a former pre-K teacher, and that's Patrick, one of my former students. When he was 4 years old in my pre-K class, he said, in a community, first you have to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. So I want all of us to walk away remembering how important you are, and we'll give you some tools to make sure that you commit to you. And then secondly, my intention is that you feel connected to this community of amazing educators and leaders who are deeply committed to using wellness and social emotional learning as vehicles for healing and social change. For those of you who have done trainings, you know that community is the essence of what we do. And so for all of us who are working so hard, perhaps isolated in our own little circles, it's so nice to be connected to one another. So it's time for you to take care of you. And why do we start with the self? So at Breathe for Change, our social emotional learning curriculum, we don't just stop at SEL. We tag on the F to SEL because we believe it's so critically important for us as educators and leaders to embody the social emotional learning practices and competencies that we hope to instill in our students. So on that left right there is our wheel of well-being, which, as you can see in that center ring, it's really about you and cultivating your own personal well-being. So today we'll learn practices for you to foster your mental well-being, your physical well-being, and your social emotional well-being. And ultimately that will have ripple effects interpersonally throughout your relationships, as well as collectively in your communities. And so when we're talking about mental well-being, we're referring to our mindsets, the perspectives that we have, the beliefs and the thoughts that are going through our minds, and just our presence and clarity in general. Physically, we'll be learning practices that improve your health, your energy levels, and ultimately your nutrition. And lastly, social emotionally, that SEL piece is really about us improving our mood, our feelings, our emotions, and human connection. So we'll be learning things across all three layers of well-being today. And at Breathe for Change, one of our favorite frameworks to use that I learned at a racial justice facilitation training through the Interaction Institute for Social Change is called the 3 zones. And so that inner layer is the comfort zone. We've all experienced the comfort zone. It's where, you're surrounded by people who share similar views as you. You're not necessarily being pushed to think in different ways. There's nothing wrong with the comfort zone. But the point I want to make today is that no learning is happening there. So then beyond the comfort zone is the stretch zone. And this is really about stretching ourselves to learn and to grow. You might be trying out things today that you've never done before that may feel a little uncomfortable. That's absolutely okay and welcome, because ultimately this is where the learning is taking place. And we invite you to get out of that comfort zone and do some things that may push you to open yourselves up in vulnerable ways. Beyond the stretch zone, though, is the panic zone. We've all been there, especially in 2020. Let's be honest. It's that fight or flight or freeze. We no longer feel safe. And the point here is no learning is happening there. And definitely, if you feel yourself entering into that zone when we're together, then take some deep breaths, bring yourself back, try on the tools that we're teaching you, and know that it is all going to be okay. All right. So just to ground this in research for a moment, what's the critical connection here? So when we are well, ultimately our teaching is more effective. My dissertation revealed that critical connection between educator well-being and student learning. So one of the teachers I was following said, if I am stressed, my students are stressed. Or when I am calm and collected, my students are calm and collected. And this is because our relationships are reciprocal. So how we show up deeply impacts how those around us show up. So when we are stressed, those around us feel stressed. Or when we are loving, those around us feel open-hearted and joyful. Sound familiar? Well, here's why. So whenever we observe another person displaying a particular emotion, nerve cells in our brain called mirror neurons are activated. And these neurons promote social attunement by triggering the physiological response of the same emotion. This is known as neurobiological resonance, and it happens simultaneously without us having to think about it at all. So if you think about how it feels when you're around a really joyful, happy person, likely this is how you're feeling too. You take on those emotions. Or if you're around someone who's expressing a lot of sadness, likely you'll end up feeling that way too. So this is mirror neurons at work. So neurobiological resonance and emotional contagion, or this idea that emotions are contagious, happen even more intensely when interacting with an authority figure, especially in young people who do not have a fully developed prefrontal cortex, which is why it is so important that we are having this self-care retreat, that we are prioritizing our well-being every single day. So I want to stop for a moment and have us start here by thinking about what are intentions for our well-being in the first place. So how are we going to nurture our mental, our physical, our social, emotional well-being? And that's going to look totally different for you than it is for me, than it is for someone else in this space. So I invite you now to stand up if you can. We're going to do something called a power pose. Amazing. Yeah, you may need to alter your laptop or your computer a little bit, or your phone if you're on it. And ground down through both feet. And I want you to relax your shoulders down your back, and we're going to find a power stance. So maybe your power stance is with your arms out wide. Maybe your hands are at your hips with your chest open. Maybe your arms are down. But I want you to think about like breathing. Your inner superhero. You're tapping into your superpower here in this stance. Beautiful. And connect to your breath. You can soften your gaze or close your eyes in your power pose. And Harvard research shows that when students do this power pose for 2 minutes before a test, their test scores increase. I think it was 11%. So consider that you standing here, tapping into your superpower, actually is physiologically shaping your brain, shifting your reality. And so as you continue to breathe in this power pose, maintaining that open-hearted posture, I invite you to take a few moments to set your intention for your well-being. So what does your physical well-being look like? What does mental well-being for you look like and sound like and feel like? What does it look like, sound like, and feel like to be emotionally well? And get specific here as you're setting these intentions. How will it look like each day for you to take care of yourself? To prioritize you? What do you hope to feel like? Maybe you begin to visualize yourself in a month from now or 2 months from now, actually living into this vision. Seeing yourself mentally, physically, emotionally taking care of you. Noticing what's showing up around you, who is surrounding you, whether it's digitally or in your own circle. Just feeling the ripple effects of what's possible for you to show up in this way. What's happening, not just inside you, but in your community too. Take a deep breath in And a deep breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Out with an audible sigh. Now bring your hands over your heart. Give yourself some love, your heart a little rub. You can open your eyes if they're closed. Maintaining that power stance as you're seated. I would absolutely love, you can bottom line in the chat in one sentence, like, what is your intention for your well-being? Let's see what's in the space. Got to name it to claim it. I love it. To feel centered and strong. Love it, Cece. Put them in. I see you all typing. Being supportive and encouraging of others and myself. Love it. Being peaceful, focused, and healthy. Grounded like a mountain. Yes. You look like a mountain right now. Like strong, Kristen. I love it. Finding balance between self-care and other care. Show myself some grace and compassion. Present, mindful, joyful, healthy. Stay away from work. Yes. And technology. Yes. I'm going to share that intention, Teresa. Feel strong. I love it. So one of the beautiful things about intention setting is that you can come back to your intentions every single day and make intention setting a daily practice for you. Every single morning, at least for me, my partner and I wake up, do some breathing practices, which I'll teach you in a moment. And then the first thing we do before we even leave bed is we say, what's your intention for the day? And then we share our intention with each other. So you can do that in community at your home if you live with other people or you have a partner or kids or whoever, roommates. You can also just do it on your own by setting your intentions. And what I recommend when you set your intentions is that it's not about what you want to do for the day. I don't want to check off this task, right? We already have that list. It's in our calendars. We have too much of that going on in our life. But how do you want to be? How do you want to feel? How do you want to show up? So mine is usually like, my intention is to be kind and loving today, or to be if stuff is really hard, like to be compassionate to myself, or to be calm, or maybe it's to be playful. Sometimes I want to pull that out because I've been so serious for too long. So think about how you want to be each day and set that each morning, and then find someone in your life, like an accountability buddy, we call it in our Breathe for Change trainings, to share that with and to ask them, what's your intention? And then you can hold each other accountable. So that's a little I'll call it soul work for you, not during this hour, but after our time together. And one of the things that we do a lot in our trainings is talk about the power of our mindset. So our mindsets shape our reality. And I saw in some of your intentions, it was about like taking time for you, or really focusing on your own self. So it's so important that we think about, like, what is the mindset we actually have about self-care? So for example, at least for me, some of the times I'm like, I'm not worthy of self-care. Like, I need to take care of everybody else. Like, there's no time for me, or taking time for myself is selfish. There's a lot of stories that we create around actually taking time to prioritize ourselves, especially as educators. And so I would love for you all to consider, how can you reframe your mindset around your own well-being? So maybe instead of, I don't have time for me, It's like giving time to myself will actually allow me to give more to others. So I invite you now to think for yourself, what new mindset can you take on that will support you in fulfilling the intention that you just set for yourself? So chat that in. What is a new mindset? Like, I deserve me time, or my own self-care matters. So what mindset or mantra or affirmation do you want to claim today that will allow you to really support your well-being? I love it, Carrie. I am worthy. Yes, you are. What else? Put it into the chat. I am capable, beautiful Katie. I love it. So as you continue to really clarify what these mindsets are, like, I'm I'm worthy of being taken care of. I am strong. Investing in myself will be a gift to myself and others. Yes, Sarah. Me time is important. Yes, Nicole. But time with others is also an important part of self-care. You have a right to feel loved. I love it. I can't pour from an empty cup. I need to refill every day. So I recommend that all of you take whatever mindset you want to have and write it on a notepad or on like a post-it note, or somewhere in your space that you can be reminded of. You can post it on your laptop, for example. Be like, oh yeah, I need to remember that. I deserve time for me. Beautiful line. My self-care is important so I can also help the kids in my care. Beautiful. Awesome. So taking those mindsets on, I got great news for you, because there are so many tools that we have that we'll go through today together to support you and your students in cultivating that well-being. So again, we'll be going through a wide range of practices that, of course, number one, are for you to take care of you. But as you're learning them, these are also tools that you can modify and adapt and share with your students, with your families, with your loved ones, and in your communities in general. And these practices that we will embark on together and experience together are both responsive and proactive. So what I mean by that is you can use them in those heightened moments, like when you're in the panic zone, for example. You're stressed, you're frustrated, something happened, and you just are not feeling at your best. So that would be considered like a responsive approach to these practices. So you're using them, you bring your awareness, ooh, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling angry. I am going to intentionally draw on these practices. So that helps us be responsive instead of reactive in the moment. In addition to that, you can also use these practices proactively. And this is more aligned with what I was sharing about what I do in the morning. So you can find a way to integrate a daily practice, a wellness practice into your life so that you decrease your overall reactivity and you end up just being a healthier, happier, more fulfilled person, because you're taking care of you. You're filling up your cup, as some of you mentioned earlier in the chat. And so these can be used like in the morning, before you get out of bed, or maybe in a sacred space in your home, or you can do a routine at night. Like, for example, every single night before I go to bed, my partner and I talk about all the things that we're grateful for from today. And so that's like a way that then the last thing I talk about is what I'm grateful for. It's a gratitude practice. So maybe you write in your gratitude journal at the end of the day. So how can you draw on these tools proactively and intentionally is what I also want you to be thinking about as we move through this workshop. All right, so let's get into it. So first, we're going to talk about how not just talk about, but actually do this. Some practices that allow us to connect to our breath. So at Breathe for Change, some of our favorite practices are 3 collective breaths, or belly breathing, or mindfulness of the breath. And so I'm going to stop my screen now. We're going to get into it. because I want you to actually experience the benefits of these breathing practices that you can draw on. So find a comfortable seat. And you can bring your hands either onto your thighs or over your heart. We'll take 3 collective breaths together. So take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Again, inhale, exhale, breathe in, out with an audible sigh. Now just take a few moments and check in with yourself. Notice how you're feeling. I invite you to come off mute and just say in one word how you're feeling after those 3 collective breaths. So
Calm.
come on off mute, just name it in the space.
Calm.
Better.
Peaceful.
Relaxed.
Centered.
Loved. Connected.
Happy.
Beautiful. Isn't that amazing? We literally just breathed for 10 seconds together. That's all we did. We took 3 breaths together. And so the invitation that I have for all of you with this is that, like, if all you have is 10 seconds, take your 3 breaths and do it intentionally, right? Because it can make such a big difference. And you can integrate this into your teaching and into your dinners at home or some courageous conversations that you're having, but it can really make a big, big difference. So I love the 3 collective breaths. And then another practice that I think is super, super powerful is belly breathing. So with the little ones, actually do that. This is really fun. I think it's fun with adults too. So I'll do it with you, but I invite you all to take yourself off mute so we can hear each other. I want you to bring out your bear paws and let me hear your big bear growls. Rawr.
Rawr.
And then bring your bear paws to your big bear belly. Inhale, fill your big bear belly with breath. Exhale, let it go. Again, inhale, fill your big bear belly. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill your big bear belly. Exhale, let it go. And now bring your hand over your heart, the other hand over that hand. Just notice how you feel. And I would love for you to just call into the space how you feel after those bear belly breaths.
Playful.
Thankful.
Grounded.
Beautiful.
More relaxed.
Relaxed, yeah. So as you can see, that's what I might do with the little kids. And for yourself, you can literally just place your hands over your belly and breathe all the way into your belly. So you can try that right now. So often we breathe simply into our chests when we're in that panic zone. And so this belly breathing intentionally allows us to move out of that state and into a state of relaxation. So just trying that for a moment. And now, one of the interesting things that you can do when either in your own teaching or in your life is you can intentionally breathe into your chest and have others practice breathing into their chest and then practice breathing into the belly to see the difference. And then that brings awareness to, oh my gosh, I am breathing into my chest. So just try for a moment, just breathe into your chest. So inhale into your chest, exhale, let it go. Inhale into your chest, exhale, let it go. Breathe in, And out. Woo. And now call into the space how you felt after the chest breathing. What did you notice there?
Shallow.
Yeah. Incomplete.
Yeah.
Restricted.
Joyful.
It's interesting, right? So one of the things is, especially when from a trauma-informed lens, when we are, a lot of our students or ourselves or our communities who are experiencing trauma, which is increasing more and more by the day, we are in those states of traumatic response, we often are breathing into our chest. And that's why it's so powerful to intentionally invite ourselves to breathe into our bellies, because that shifts us from a sympathetic state of mind, which is that fight or flight, into a parasympathetic state of mind or being, which is like that rest and digest. All right. So we just did some breathing practices that are relaxing and grounding. Now I invite you all to stand up. This is called the breath of joy. And take yourself off mute. It's more fun that way, so we can hear each other. I love it. All right. So how this is going to work is you are going to inhale 3 times. Grads, you know this one and love it. I'm super excited to do this with you. So inhale as you reach your arms up 3 times. So like this. And on the exhale, make a huge noise. Okay. Ready? Inhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Again. I love it. Bring your hands over your heart this time. Feel the rhythm of your heart beating. And now call into the space how you feel after those breaths of joy.
Energized.
Yes.
Playful.
Love it.
Refreshed.
Amazing. So good, everybody. So as you can see, different breathing practices lend itself to different outcomes. So that practice was more energizing and playful and opening, right? So if you're feeling tired or lethargic, or you just need a different type of energy or joy or play, then you can draw on your breath of joy. So that is those are a few examples of breathing practices that you can use in your daily life. And now let's talk about how we can draw on the power of our bodies to take care of ourselves. So mindful movement is such a powerful practice that all of us can use to support us each and every day in feeling amazing. So this includes practices like the sun dance. I'll walk you through how you can do that. Breath of joy, which we just did together, is a combination of a breath and a body practice. You can, when you're feeling super stressed, you can draw on the tense and release practice, which we'll do together. And also a body scan is a really powerful meditation practice that you can draw on to take care of you. So mindful movement. I know some of you are our Breathe for Change grads. You're certified yoga teachers. You've got mindful movement down to a science. But those of you who are newer and haven't yet gone through our training, you can tap into mindful movement practices every single day. And I'm going to show you a few techniques that you can use, whether or not you're a certified yoga teacher. So bring your hands over your heart. Awesome. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, palms kiss. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Again, inhale, reach up, rise up, look up. Exhale, hands back to your heart. Inhale and reach. Exhale, hands back to your heart. Now just take a moment check in. How am I feeling right now? And just, you can chat in how you're feeling, come off mute, put it into the space, whatever you would like. But what is so amazing about mindful movement is literally I just connected my breath to my movement. That's literally what mindful movement is. Inhale, arms up to the sky, exhale, back to your heart. That's all I did, just a few rounds of that. And it can really make a big difference, especially for all of us who are probably on our computers more than we've ever been in our entire lives. And awesome. I see, Line, you feel better after that. Yeah. Sometimes we just need to move, right? And breathe. And that mind-body connection is so powerful for us to feel better inside.
Feet on bed. Yeah.
So you can do this with me, add in some twists or some different variations. So inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, twist to the right. So bring your left palm to your right thigh. Right fingertips back behind you. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then inhale, reach your arms back up. Exhale, twist to the opposite side. Right hand to your left knee, left hand back behind you. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then inhale, reach your arms back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach your arms out wide. Give yourself a huge hug. And maybe just take a moment and you can soften your gaze and close your eyes and just share some love, some words of affirmation and appreciation for yourself. So important that we give to ourselves the way we give to others. So just take that moment to express gratitude to you. Amazing. And whenever you're ready, you can give your gratitude out to each other. Love it. And then that tense and release practice is something that is so awesome to do when you are super stressed. Raise your hand if you've been super stressed at some point in the last, 2020. Everyone, we've all been there. It's a crazy time to be alive, but here we are, and these practices can truly help us. And so tense and release is something where if you're feeling tense, you exacerbate it for a moment. You tense your entire body physically. So do this with me. Clench your face, your wrists, your whole body, your core. Tense, 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 and then exhale, let it all go. So intentionally relax and just notice. You can literally feel the tension leave your body. Let's do that one more time. Tense up, squeeze your hands, squeeze your eyes, your whole body, your legs, and then exhale, release. Just let it sit for a moment. Feel maybe some tingling sensations. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Amazing. So that's another beautiful practice that you can use every single day. All right. So that's some ways that you can connect to your body. And then with our emotions, we have so many tools that we can draw on to foster our emotional well-being. So here are just a few. The 2-word check-in, that's something that I did with you right when you joined. So invited you to connect to your emotions and then to choose 2 words that describe how you're feeling. And it's a beautiful practice that you can do digitally with a group of people so you can see what's in the space. You can do it in your own personal practice every day to get clear on where you're at. And the weather report is another practice where you can draw on in your internal weather report. So how am I feeling? Sunny, cloudy, maybe it's a thunderstorm in there, or loving kindness, which is a meditation that I will guide you through right now. So this loving kindness meditation is such a powerful practice that all of you can use in your daily life, especially when you want to cultivate compassion, which I think is more relevant now than ever before. And so just take a few moments and bring your hands over your heart. Connect to your breath. And I invite you to bring to mind you. We're going to start right here with you. I invite you to send yourself this blessing of loving kindness. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live in peace. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Again, inhale. Let it go. Beautiful. And now I invite you to bring to mind someone in your life that you just dearly love. It could be a partner, a child, a student, a friend, anyone, and see them in your mind's eye. And then I invite you to send this person your blessing of loving kindness. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live in peace. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. And now bring to mind someone in your life that is suffering right now that could use a little extra loving kindness. See them, visualize them, hold them in your heart, and send them this blessing of loving kindness. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live in peace. Take a deep breath in for this person. Give your love out. And now expanding your awareness to the whole community that you serve. Maybe it's your classroom community, your family, your school community, an organization that you work with, whatever community you feel is closest to your heart. And see all of them in your mind's eye. Feel them in your heart. And then send your community this blessing of loving kindness. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we be safe. May we live in peace. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now expanding your awareness to all beings everywhere. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be safe. May we all live in peace. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Feeling your heart beating. Allowing that loving kindness to emanate inside you. And then whenever you're ready, You can open your eyes if they're closed. I would love to hear in the chat how you feel now after that loving kindness meditation. Light, I love it. Calm, connected, whole, full of grace for myself, grateful. Beautiful, everybody. Amazing. It's so powerful. And you can do that. All you do is bring to mind whoever it is that you feel called to bring to mind and send a blessing. And I just made up those affirmations. You can send whatever blessing of loving kindness. It's like, may you be free. May you feel love. May you, whatever it is that you want. So that's a powerful way to connect to your emotions and really draw on your emotions as a tool to support your well-being. And then lastly, we have a lot of practices that we train our trainees in our training that can help us connect to our thoughts in a transformative way. So intention setting, we did that together. You can do that every single day in your daily practice. As I mentioned, visualization is really powerful. You visualize yourself living into those intentions. You can visualize yourself accomplishing a goal you want to accomplish. You can integrate visualization into your daily life to support you in manifesting what you want. And then affirmation, we did that too when you talked about your new mindsets that you want to take on. Those are some powerful practices that you can draw on. You can put up on your wall, in your journal, make note of it, come back to it as an anchor in your practice. And then last but not least, gratitude, which is my favorite practice of all. Gratitude really allows us to focus on the things that are working as opposed to the things that aren't working in our life, which I think can be really challenging when times are really hard. So one of my favorite practices, and we can end with this, is called an appreciation circle. And this is an opportunity for whoever feels called in this space. And for this purpose, we'll do it in this community, but you can do this for your classroom, with your friends, over dinner, anything you want. So you just express whatever you're grateful for, and you can share your appreciation about whatever it is that you feel grateful for in the moment. So it could be about this experience. It could be about another experience. So I would love to open up space. You can raise a digital hand or take yourself off mute for a couple of you to just share whatever it is that you're grateful for right now. So who would like to share first? And I can say, actually, I'll go. I am so grateful to all of you who are educators, who are doing the most important work in the world. And it is unprecedented times. And I think about you every single day. You give me inspiration and purpose. And I just think that you are the most amazing people in the world. So thank you so much for what you're doing. So that's my gratitude. Who else would like to share? Kristen.
Hi. I feel super grateful for Ilana and her vision. I'm a graduate and I am back and had heard much of this, and every single time I participate again, I feel refreshed, renewed. I feel more loving and gentle towards myself. I feel love for this community and for connecting with all of you, and just knowing there's a space to do this important work, to be well in the work that I'm doing with kids. So I'm super thankful to have had this time today with all of you. And thank you, Ilana, for your amazing vision.
Aw, thank you. So it's so beautiful to see you again. Anyone else want to share their gratitude? Katie.
Hi. Well, I'm grateful to be here, and I'm super grateful to be able to have time to practice with this and for myself. That's been a blessing the last month. So very happy for that.
Awesome. And I really hope that all of you walk away. Even this is like a very tiny taste of what we do in our 200-hour wellness SEL and yoga teacher training. That's for educators and leaders like yourselves that Kristen graduated from. And I know some others here have graduated from too. So if any of you are interested in learning more or applying to our trainings, we have finally brought our 200-hour as of like literally this week to the digital setting. And so we have 2 cohorts available in January and in April, and it's over the course of 8 months. They're live sessions over the weekends once a month. And then it's amazing now because in the in-person trainings, we didn't have any video content that people could go back to, but now digitally, it's like a library of unbelievable content. So even a lot of our grads who did it in person are signing up for the digital as a refresher because it's such an amazing way for you to have this content for life, and really scaffolded. It's scaffolded so that by the end of training, every single one of you will be able to lead with confidence an inclusive yoga class to both adults and young people, as well as you'll also, in addition to the 200-hour Yoga Alliance certification that has you be an internationally recognized yoga teacher, you also get your social emotional learning facilitator certification, which equips you to lead not just SEL practices like I have taught you today, but you'll end up being able to lead wellness workshops and professional development and SEL workshops and professional development for your entire school, district, or organization, adults and young people. And so we really do build leaders that are doing remarkable work. And I would absolutely love all of you to join who are interested. I sent the link in the chat. The way that you can participate in our training is we have an application process. You'll fill out a short form and then schedule a call with one of our team members. And then we chat with you, see if it feels like a good fit. And if it does, then we'll end up having you in our training. And I lead the trainings along with the best trainers that we have across the country, which is another benefit of our digital trainings, is we just get to pull the absolute best talent of our hundreds of trainers that do the in-person training. So excited. I know some of you are already signed up. I can't wait to see you. Some of you are in the current trainings, and others, I hope that you join us. And if the 200-hour training is just too much of a commitment for you and you really want the foundations, we also have our Breathe for Change Foundations course, which gives you like the fundamentals of mindfulness and social emotional learning and yoga and wellness, and will equip you to better take care of yourselves and meet the social emotional needs of your students and your communities and your families at home and everyone in your life. So there's a link there too if you're interested in that. And we have a cohort starting in January, and we've already certified almost 700 educators since July through that training, and over 5,000 educators through our 200-hour training. So you will be joining an amazing community of incredible leaders just doing the most remarkable things in the world. So super excited, grateful that all of you took the time today to take care of you. And I hope that you're walking away with some tangible tools that you can bring into your life starting now and forevermore. So thank you all. And I hope to see many of you in our future trainings. Also, be on the lookout for the newsletters that we have going out each week so that you can come to our yoga classes and our other content webinars, and as well as informational webinars if you want more info on our trainings. So hope to see all of you soon. And thank you so much. Make sure that if you're interested in our trainings, you at least fill out that short form as soon as possible, especially both of our January trainings are almost full. So if you're even remotely interested, you don't need to commit by filling out the form and going through our process. It'll at least get you to end up talking to our team so we can answer your questions and see what feels right for you. So I don't want you to have to wait to the wait list, but thank you all so much. It was so good to see you, and we'll see you soon.